So just thinking about Richmond, your development, and again, I've known each other since undergraduate days. You've always been a Vim and Tmux kind of person. So how has it been using a cloud-based environment?
Honestly, the problem is VS Code tries to intercept a lot of your keyboard shortcuts. So a couple of your particularly annoying ones I can tell you in advance is Control Q is my preferred Tmux hotkey. So I have to go back to hitting Control B, the default prefix. And possibly the worst one is if you hit Control S, it pauses your terminal, but you can't use Control Q to resume it. So you brick it.
Yeah.
Unless you set STTY to not do that. But this minor quirks, no worse than working on any other system, to be honest. You just work around it.
I have to admit, I was the same, coming from the same boat. And my dad always told me that, my .emacs file is older than you. And, my .emacs file is as old as me because I just forked his as soon as I was ready. I've since made lots of changes. But yeah, certainly the muscle memory thing. But so what they're working on is being able to use something like SSHFS, so you can start a dev space, but then you can start a dev space and you get the dependencies, the fresh environment, the cloud-based, rather than your local compute. But you can use your own editor, like with Emacs, you'd use something like Tramp to remotely access over SSH, and then you still have your editor ergonomics. Although VS Code is nice, and having some of the modern refactoring abilities, you get that in Emacs, but it's a lot harder to set up. And what about you, David? You were a VS Code. You've been on VS Code for quite a while now, right?
Absolutely, and that's
my Emacs didn't stick.
You tried. You gave it the good college try, but it's been refreshing to be able to work in VS Code in a different environment. And I really like the feature that I have the option of using the browser-based VS Code, which is a good port. But at the same time, also being able to open up a dev space on my local install of VS Code. So I do appreciate that. And, it would be, I'm sure that there's a way to get my my environment config into the browser version of a dev space, but I like having that convenience and that option.
That is a good point, and I owe a blog post on this. You can have extensions and configuration that span every instance of your dev space, and so that would be the way to go for that. Like if you wanted a certain theme, a certain set of extensions that were always on your dev space. Well, let's rewind back to Tuesday. So we're at my living room. We had the big plastic table set up, some monitors. Had a quick. Well, first it was great to see you both again. It's been a while since we actually had a good in real life catch up.
Yeah, it was a great LAN party get together.
Oh, it did feel like a LAN party in a sense. Right, we got take out Thai food and a bunch of computers spread out. Although it's nice not lugging around CRTs anymore.
I don't know. I can remember some days where the three of us on some big long projects, we were essentially set up like a LAN party around a big conference table, monitors and stands everywhere. I seem to remember Richmond falling asleep under the table at one point, and
that happened after about 30 hours of being awake.
Yeah, about after 32 hours, it looked more like a dorm room than a conference room.
Well, if Richmond falls asleep, then it's been too much work. You have more dev stamina than I think anyone else.
Indeed.